Hello Gemini, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of the connection, so we've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story, so we've got your perspective, their perspective, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. I've pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second, but I do have a different tarot deck I'll be using for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck I'll be pulling from to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does or resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can be swapped, so the whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case, that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, take what resonates and helps your situation, leave the rest. All right, Gemini. On your side of this connection, you have there are regrets with the devil. I don't know what this means yet, but I do definitely feel as if you have regrets when it comes to this connection. I kind of get those like you regret the devil. I don't know what that means yet. I don't know if it's like you regret this attachment, you regret this person, or you regret. I don't know. I don't know what this means yet. I feel like we'll have to pull tarot. Usually some clarity comes in when I start channeling. I picked up these cards, nothing. So we'll have to see as I start to pull tarot. But I do definitely feel as if there are regrets coming from your end. I don't feel as if maybe you do regret things that you did and said, but it's less that. It's more like you invested a lot in this connection and you regret that, or you regret how you allowed this person or allowed this person to treat you or speak to you. It's that kind of general vibe. Now, this person is ignoring the pain with the death card here. I do feel as if this is a past connection, and the reason I say that is because in between this connection, we'll get there in a second, but you do have the Six of Cups. It's in reverse, but I do feel as if this is someone from your past. Remember, these do not have to be romantic connections. They can be platonic, familial. It could be your boss, whatever resonates for you. I have a tendency to speak on them as if they are romantic, though, so do try to take it as it resonates for you. But I do feel like this person hasn't really faced any of the pain associated with how this connection made them feel. Almost as if I feel like there's a lot of distracting going on. I don't know exactly how yet, but I do definitely feel like this person is doing what they can to not have to face themselves in this connection, because in between this connection you have stand your ground with the Six of Cups in reverse, as I mentioned, and I feel as if this is about you like standing your ground, standing up for yourself, not falling back into old patterns or old habits, not letting somebody kind of talk you back into things. I'm not, again, quite sure how this all ties together, which is different for me. Usually I feel like I get a clear picture for the overall energy, but for today, in this reading in particular, it's like everything seems a little bit hazy, so I'll see when I again start pulling tarot. But then the overall theme for the reading is karmic path. So I do feel as if there's a very karmic aspect to this connection, and I feel as if there's some important information that needs to be brought to the surface regarding this connection for you. But let's just dive in. Let's just see what the heck we're dealing with here, Gemini. So this is for your side of this connection, Gemini's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Oh, okay. Take that. Oh, and then this Ten of Swords is poking out. Ooh. Star in reverse, Ten of Swords. Oh, Gemini, this connection did you dirty. Did a number on you. With this Ten of Swords here. And I feel as if you've been having a hard time, like fully healing from it, it's like you've been having a hard time, or like gaining, because the star, I feel like the way that I'm kind of reading the star in reverse is it's almost like this connection took away your light, and you're having a hard time bringing that light back. I don't know exactly. Why is everything coming through so hazy? Might just kind of be the nature of this connection, just confusing, unclear. Because, I mean, it's obvious with this Ten of Swords that it was painful. But then, yeah, with the Star in reverse, it's almost like you've been having a hard time getting your light back, fully recovering, getting back up on your feet. And there's a reason for that. Because and maybe that's why you have this regrets, is you're like, man, if I would have known that, like, if I would have known, that's kind of what I'm hearing. If I would have known, I never would have blank. If I would have known blank, I never would have blank. And I feel like that's, I don't know, kept you. But with this karmic path energy, this makes me feel as if what happened in this connection was kind of meant to happen in some way, shape, or form. Because I am a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. If you watch my channel, you know that. And I truly believe that our karmic lessons appear in our life to help us create a better life for ourselves. But I don't know how yet, because it's obvious that this has been very painful for you. Gemini side of this connection. But your focus isn't in the right place. There's something, there's like something you're not seeing with the High Priestess in reverse, because I feel as if you had some imbalanced priorities when it came to this connection. Maybe you prioritized this person, you prioritized their needs, their desires, what they, their dreams, if you will. And it feels like yours definitely very much fell to the back burner. And then in the end, it's like you went through all that, and then in the end, you end up in this Ten of Swords. It's like so the energy that I could gather from this is like, you give so much to someone, and you're there for them every step of the way, and you support them, and like through, let's say, getting to their dream. I don't know what that would be. Let's say like med school. I don't know. That's just the first thing that popped to mind. You support them through all of this. You guys are in debt. You're supporting them financially, and then they get there. They get to where they're trying to go, and then they leave you. And you're like, what the hell? It's like you went through so much for this connection just to kind of get screwed over. Maybe that's where the regret is coming from. But what's this devil saying? I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay. Gemini side of the connection. I want it to turn all the way over like that, or hit the table. Okay. Woo. Feels like this connection just drained you, Gemini. Like, just sucked the life out of you is what I'm hearing. And the light, the light out of you with the Star in reverse, right, that we talked about. And it's like you've been having a hard time recovering. My goodness, Gemini. This is intense. No wonder you have regrets. But, we often regret what we don't see the purpose of. And that's kind of what I want this reading to try to bring forth, is trying to see the purpose for the pain that you have experienced in this connection. Because, because there's something here. There's something here, but I'm doing things a little bit different this week. I'm going to jump on to this person's side. I'll come back. So I'm still going to pull 6 messages each, but I'm going to do 3, 3, 3, 3. Because I think it'll help me build out the story a little bit more. But I want to kind of see, like, while you're going through all this, what is this person dealing with? Feels like distraction. Ignoring the pain with the death. This person's energy toward Gemini. Okay. This person's energy toward Gemini. They're not blind to the way that they've treated you here. Seven of Pentacles in reverse, Justice in reverse, Seven of Cups. It feels as if I think they're aware of the damage they did or have done. Maybe not the extent of it. Because the Seven of Cups energy to me is like commitment issues, not knowing what they want, wishy-washy kind of energy, like just in general being non-committal. Even if you were married to this person, it just feels as if they were never, maybe always kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But with the Seven, this is so interesting. Because I feel as if they're fully aware, but they're ignoring. They're distracting. You know, hurt people, right? But I genuinely don't believe that hurt people mean to hurt people. I think oftentimes they feel as if it is the only way to be. And when someone who is hurting hurts somebody else, they're going to do whatever they can to not have to face that hurt. Because they're already not facing the root of that hurt, right? The root of hurting other people. I hope that makes sense. Like, if someone has been in a relationship with someone that they truly loved about who cheated on them, right? And instead of healing from that, they take that on and they get into another relationship and then they cheat on that person and they're like, well, it happened to me, you know? And it just feels as if it's like, of course they're not facing the way that they hurt you because they're not facing the hurt behind their hurt, the reason that they hurt you. So they're not just ignoring the pain from this connection, they're ignoring kind of all of it. This person's energy toward Gemini. I hope that made sense. I feel like I didn't do a great job explaining it, but all right. They're really focused on, they're really focused on things that don't really matter, like appearance, money, ego-filling stuff. Not that those things are bad, right? But when it's the driving force for your decisions, it can definitely be harmful. And I feel like that's kind of what this person is doing. It's like they're making decisions, out of ego. Gemini, I don't like this person's energy towards you. Have I said that before in a reading for you? I don't know if this is the same person or someone different, but there's something very karmic going on here. Because it's like they have Ten of Cups in reverse, they have like these expectations of what their life needs to look like almost unrealistic expectations about their success in their material world, that they're not at all focused on their internal world. Yeah, that they're ignoring their internal world by focusing solely on their external world. You hear it all the time, right? People who work all the time, bury themselves in their work or whatever the case may be, are typically running from something, right? So, this kind of seems to be this person's MO. Because this Justice in reverse to me is also just like a lack of accountability. Like, they might know that they've caused you pain, but it's almost as if they're like, not my problem. not be, I don't know, this person might lack some empathy here. This person might lack some empathy here. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's too many. That's too many. That's too much in one message. Clear, concise messages for this person's energy toward Gemini. Clear, concise messages for this okay. There it is. There, and this is avoiding the inevitable, literally avoiding the pain, which you have ignoring the pain. It's like they're isolating themselves. They've isolated themselves. You could be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. You absolutely do not have to be. This person is deeply wounded. And maybe you knew that. And you kind of took that on. You were like, oh, I can help you. But then it just ended up like this Ten of Swords. Because, I mean, what's the saying, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can't make anybody heal. You can't heal anybody else, especially if someone is so unwilling to do so. It's almost like they isolate themselves. They pull back from they push away the people that care the most about them. I mean, ultimately, people who push away love don't feel deserving of love, right? So they push it away because it's easier than facing those feelings of being undeserving of it. But okay, let's jump back over here. So how is this affecting you? Because this feels more like, ooh, no, yeah, because this feels more like what happened. And then this is kind of like where they're at now. So I want to know how, well, actually, I'm just going to pull cards. All right, Gemini side of this connection. I feel like I'm putting together a 10,000 piece puzzle. There's so many moving parts to this. Because, yeah, again, everything is very confusing and chaotic in this. The most triggering part of this for you, Gemini, is how undervalued you are or were in this connection. It's like, and that's kind of, going back to that example I talked about. You help this person through med school, they become a doctor, they get to this great level of success and that they were wanting this whole time, and then they leave you. It's almost like there's no acknowledgement of all of these things you've done for them. Now, that doesn't need to be something as big as that, right? Like standing by someone while they're struggling with like addiction or mental health, but then when they recover, they leave you. It could be anything. And I almost feel like that's what this devil is, because this devil doesn't feel like it belongs to you. It feels as if it's this person, but an aspect of them. It's like you took on this burden of their devil in some way. Addiction, mental health, I don't know what. We haven't even seen the devil pop up for them. And I almost feel like that's part of this reading, it showing up in your energy. It's like you took it on. You took on this war that they're in with themselves. You took that on and you said, I can fight this for you, but you can't do that. That's not possible. And I feel like you did so much for this person, and in the end, it feels kind of like you got screwed over, or like you feel screwed over because of how much you're undervalued in this. And now I feel because of how things have gone down in this connection, it has you second guessing your value altogether. Because there's a part of you that's saying, well, if I did so much for that person and they still didn't see my value, is anyone going to see my value? And the answer to that is yes. It's obvious that this person isn't focused on the right stuff, right? They're not valuing anything that matters. They're valuing ego-filling things. person's energy toward Gemini. Seven of Cups here. Theirs is the overwhelmed, the confused. And I feel like you've been this way ever since this Tower. And there's fire sign energy. Yeah, King and Queen of Wands. So you could be dealing with Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You don't have to be. But it feels like ever since, I don't know if you were blindsided. I do know you had a lot of resentment built up because of how much you were doing for this person and how little they were doing for you. But I feel as if ever since things kind of went down, it feels like it's been hard for you to make sense of everything. It's been confusing and hazy. Like I said, like your light kind of went out. It's been hard for you to maybe find yourself again because you lost so much of it in this connection. But there's a deeply karmic aspect to this. A deeply karmic aspect to this. I don't know what that is yet. That's another card of confusion. It's like you don't know what to do. Eight of Wands in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse. Why is there so much confusion? I'm just going to straight up ask that. Why is there so much confusion on Gemini's side of this? Why is there so much confusion on Gemini's side of this connection? Because of how triggered you are. Because of how triggered you are. Okay. Triggered you are by their running. Okay. Okay. So sometimes when, how do I put this in words? Sometimes when people treat us poorly or do something to hurt us, because again, it's like this energy. This person, made it through med school, got to wherever they wouldn't be able to get if you hadn't have supported them there, and then they just like straight up leave you or betray you or something like that, and you're just going, what the hell? Like, how could this have happened? Trying to understand how someone could do this to you, how they could hurt you that way, trying to understand the other person. And it's really hard to understand someone that's so vastly different than us. This person is obviously dealing with a very different level of emotional intelligence and just at a different place in their growth journey. And something that I definitely mentioned in other readings is, we often project, we take other people's actions personally because we project what we would do if we were in their shoes. And there's this energy of like, I would never do that to them, therefore they must think so low of me, right? They must not value me or care about me at all, because the only way I would ever do that to someone is if I like hated them, right? And we project what we would do if we were in that person's shoes. But the fact of the matter is, you are completely different people on completely different journeys and completely different places of their life. So the biggest thing that I feel is coming through in this reading is to understand that the way that this person has hurt you and the things that they have done, it is not a personal attack on you, your level of deservingness and lovableness that you have, and your ability to be loved in the future. I can see how it would feel that way, because I do feel as if you gave so much to them, but I feel as if you're needing to see this person's running and ignoring and distracting, and the way that their priorities that they have have nothing to do with you and your value and everything to do with this person's individual journey. I hope that makes sense, because I feel like it's so important that you understand that what happened in this connection is not about your inability to love, or what is happening is not about your inability to love and be loved. It's teaching you a deeper karmic lesson associated with, first and foremost, when we prioritize other people's needs from the get-go. When we say your needs are more important than mine, with this hope that eventually this person will see our value because we're prioritizing their needs, and then turn around and prioritize our needs, right? We have a tendency to do that, to say I'm going to overgive and overinvest, and you're going to be the most important person in this relationship, because if I do that, then maybe you're going to see how valuable I am and how capable I am of helping you, or whatever the case is, and then you're going to see my value, and then everything's going to be okay. But what actually happens is, from the get-go, you create a dynamic, and you basically say, my needs don't matter, yours do, and that just becomes the standard in the connection. And so there's a need to see that there is so much more going on here than just this person betraying you. I feel as if there is a much deeper lesson associated, but it just doesn't feel like it's coming through yet. But we'll see. I'm going to get over here and we'll see kind of what's going on there, because you're deeply triggered by their actions, which is making it hard for you to see what this is trying to teach you. And it's not that you're not lovable and deserving. I feel as if it's that your needs matter too, and that has to be something, because you do have stand your ground in the middle here. It's almost as if, one of the things I'm doing, Gabby Bernstein's 21-day manifesting challenge, she does it every year. But this year, on day 1, the first step in this challenge is know what it is that you want and be unapologetic about that. And I feel as if that's kind of one of the overarching themes here, Gemini, is you knowing that you deserve more in love and being unapologetic about that. Being able to say, I know that I deserve more, and I'm not going to feel bad for that. I'm not going to feel guilty for that. I'm not going to feel like I'm asking for too much. I'm going to know that I deserve more, because your soul was absolutely drained from this connection, but it didn't happen just at the end. Your soul was slowly drained from this connection because you were giving so much of yourself time and time and time again, hoping that things would change, but they never did. And that is why I feel like this is a very karmic thing for you, because there's a need to see that moving forward, whether it's with this person or anybody else in your life, you have to be able to stand your ground and set boundaries in association with knowing what it is that you deserve. And again, being unapologetic about that. But let's see. Let's get more for this person's energy toward you. Because I just feel like you're dealing with someone who's just deeply, deeply hurt, deeply wounded, and isn't doing anything about those wounds. And it's not that they're not doing it for you, it's that they're not doing it for themselves, so they're certainly not going to do it for anybody else. And maybe, ooh, there's the devil right there. And there's the same Six of Cups in reverse. Interesting. How does this all tie together then? Because this is their devil, right? You took on this devil of theirs. This attachment to unhealthy habits or patterns. Again, addiction. I don't know what this is. This could just be their shadow, just this side of them that comes out when they're triggered, and I feel as if, because I feel as if you had a lot of empathy for this devil, this side of them. And I can relate to that, having a lot of empathy for people, for people's flaws, right? It's part of being an empathetic, loving person. It's part of loving somebody unconditionally. But what happened in this connection, Gemini, is you mistook unconditional love for unconditional tolerance. You loved this person regardless of their devil, regardless of what they were struggling with, that you tolerated the behavior associated with it. And that is something that this connection is trying to clear up for you, is that, yeah, loving someone unconditionally is beautiful. But you have to give yourself that same level of unconditional love and saying, yes, you could see that this person deserved love regardless of the things that they did or were going through, but so do you. And you have to put that love for yourself first, otherwise nobody else is going to. That is the number one lesson I have learned in this life and in relationships, is if you don't love yourself first, nobody else is going to. And I feel like this was a big, deep kind of lesson in that for you. They don't want to lose you. Like, they don't want to lose this connection, because there's the King of Wands again. Again, could be fire sign energy. But there's a caveat to that. I don't know what it is. They don't want to lose you, but what? I mean, I guess it's that they don't... Oh, I know what it is. I'm gonna pull a card, but I'm pretty sure I get what this is saying. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So death, same death. 9 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. It's like they don't want to lose you or lose the connection, right? Yet, at the same time, they don't want to change. And that's where that lack of accountability comes into play. There's a little bit of entitlement going on here, thinking that they deserve the love that you provided regardless of what they give, which is never the case. We receive the love that we give, both to ourselves and to others. I just generally feel some just selfish energy here. And I feel like sometimes when we're dealing with people who are selfish, they can make us feel guilty for having needs. And I almost feel, to a certain extent, that's what happened here. Like, you started to feel guilty for having needs. Which is why you stopped prioritizing them, is what it feels like. So it's like they don't want to lose you, but they don't want to change. That's why you have to stand your ground with them. Because I I feel like if this connection came back together, if this connection continues, nothing's going to change. They might say they'll change. I don't think they mean it, though. In fact, I think this person would be pretty willing, if they're the kind of person who's trying to like get you back, they'd be pretty willing to say whatever they think that they would need to, which is why I feel like this is a lesson about standing your ground, knowing your worth, and standing up for that at all costs, Gemini. And it's a deep one, so it stems from somewhere. Get one more here for this person's energy. Ace of Swords, 8 of Cups. You know that you don't know what you have until it's gone kind of energy? It's kind of what I feel here. It's like you've been around, you've been investing for so long. Or you did for so long until it drained you, until you literally have nothing left to give, right? Eventually, you're not going to have anything left to give. I don't know if you walked away or if this person walked away or who's walking away or who's withdrawing. I don't know. But I do know that it is inevitable that this person sees, because not everyone is going to treat them the way that you did. Now, when that's going to happen, who knows? And there's no guarantee that you ever know about it, I guess. But I do want you to know that you do have value here. And you do have value in general. And anyone who makes you feel like you don't have value isn't good enough for you to see your value. It's not, no one in this world, in this universe, dictates our value except for us. Nobody. It is nobody's decision to make for us to determine our value. It is our decision to make. And then whatever decision we make about our value is going to be the decisions that we make moving forward. If we value ourselves more, we're going to only accept people into our life that can see that value. If we value ourselves less, we're going to accept people into our life that don't see our value, hoping that they value us more to help us feel more valuable. So we have to learn to value ourselves above all else. Now, I feel like that can sound really selfish. I'm not saying your needs are the only needs that matter, screw the needs of everybody else. Obviously, in healthy relationships, there's a reciprocation. Your needs matter, their needs matter. You're there for them, they're there for you. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about a healthy reciprocation. We're talking about a give and take relationship in terms of you give, they take. And so I feel like there's this bigger overarching lesson here, Gemini, of knowing that, first and foremost, because I said that and I was like, oh, some Geminis are out there are going to think that sounds selfish. It is not selfish to have needs, and it's not selfish to desire and demand that those needs be met by the people whose needs you are meeting, okay? Especially on a recurring basis. And I think that, second of all, there's this need to know that since it isn't selfish to have needs and you are deserving of more, there is this need to stand up, stand your ground for yourself. The Six of Cups in reverse is the return, can be the return or repeat of a past pattern, like something from your past coming back. I'm not saying this person is coming back. I'm not one of those readers. But I do feel as if there's something to be said there. A cycle doesn't close when we walk away from what isn't serving us. A cycle closes when we're presented with the choice to make the same decision again and we do something differently. So when a new person comes along and we say, no, I recognize the signs, I'm deserving of more. Or when someone from our past comes back and we say, no, I'm not going back there. That's when the cycle actually closes. It closes when we make a different choice, not when we initially walk away. So something to keep in mind moving forward. Gonna hop on over to the extended Stand Your Ground with the Six of Cups in reverse. So we're gonna see what that's all about. I'm gonna pull 9 different messages, and then I have an advice card to pull for you at the very end. Thank you so much, Gemini, as always, for your support of my channel. I obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Gemini.